Here's the fully loaded backpack bug out bag on our scale, and it weighs in at 28.5 pounds, 13 kilograms. And there it is there, all packed and ready to go. Now we're going to take it apart so that you can see what I've put in it. All right, let's get to it. In the side pouch, clean canteen and a fish jaw spreader that you can use to pull this little sucker out of the fire. Works like a charm. Almost fits in the jar, but not quite. There's a maybe an 1/8 of an inch or a 1/16 of an inch just too long, so I got to tip it aside like that so that it'll all fit down in there. But it works to pull it out of the fire, and if it doesn't fit in there, there's room for other things in there. So we'll just call it good for right now. Clean canteen, 32 ounce. There's a cup in here that's in there pretty good. It's pretty tight, but it's a stainless steel cup that you can use to drink your coffee out of, boil water in, that kind of a thing. That's in this side pouch here. In the other side pouch, on this side, is my trusty slingshot. Just to have one more tool to use to catch small game, defend against any kind of small animal intruders to the camp, that kind of a thing. Always good to have. Now, you may decide that you want to use that side pocket for something a little bit different, and that's okay too. On the front is our fully packed first aid kit. There's everything that it could possibly need in here for arterial bleeds, cuts, scrapes. There's band-aids, 4x4s, medications, anti-diarrheal kind of stuff. This is always sitting in my Jeep, and if I have to go bug out and I can't take my Jeep, this is going to get strapped right to the front of this bug out bag right here. So let's check the bottom pouch. And down in here is my camp stove. It all fits together, nice tight unit right there. You can cook on it. You can use the stainless steel cup that's in here to boil water in. Very handy, doesn't take up too much room in the pouch itself. I've got a small fixed blade knife with a compass attached to the side of it just in case. It'll fit through a belt strap, that kind of a thing. So that's pretty handy to have. Also in here is my Schrade multi-tool that you can see right here. One of the best around. Picked them up on sale at Tractor Supply a few months ago. Really a great buy for this. It was less than 10 bucks for this, and they had them marked way down to clear out some inventory. And it comes in a nice little belt loop case. So that's it for the bottom right now. In the side pouches, a 42-gallon heavy-duty contractor trash bag. A life straw, you can't beat it. You gotta have water. Water is one of the most important things that you'll need, and a life straw is really gonna come in handy. Toilet paper and a few extra band-aids that are stuffed in the core. A pair of work gloves. These are the Wells Lamont work gloves. Picked up a 3-pack at BJ's Wholesale Club. Got a 3-pack for less than 20 bucks. They're great gloves. A glow stick, chemical stick. An extra water bottle, foldable. A little bit of extra comfort items. There's toothpaste, Tylenol, soap, washcloth, a couple of tampons in there. Nice to have, doesn't take up a whole lot of room. There's some hand washing stuff in there. Nice to have if you got the room. In one of these back pouches, a Write in the Rain pad with a pencil. A Sharpie. A Spork. And vegetable oil for cooking. Always nice to have. And also in here is a chainsaw cutting tool and an extra piece of cordage that kind of goes with it. But if you need to saw up some logs for a fire, this is really a whole heck of a lot better, packs a lot nicer than a full-bladed Corona saw, those kinds of things. I've tried it. It does work pretty darn well. Couple extra calories to use it, but beyond that it's okay. And that's it for, oh wait, my toothbrush. Can't leave home without it. An SOL emergency blanket. It doesn't take up much room. In fact, I couldn't even find it in there without reaching in a second or a third time to get it out, but that's a good thing to have. So in the main pouch, we'll get the tensioning straps undone here. And all I got to do is find the zippers. There they are. And like I mentioned a couple of times in the past, this does fully clamshell open, so it's really, really handy to have. In the main, well, let me do these little pockets first. Open the top, got a mosquito net, got a couple of Nature bars, Nature Valley fruit and nut bars, just for a snack. They're sitting up on top, always nice to have. And some stormproof matches with a striker on the side of the box. This will come in handy. Down in the bottom, got an extra pair of socks and an extra bandana. So in this main pouch, I've got, oh, here's these internal straps. We'll get to that in a minute. A Sawyer mini water filter. It's supposed to do 100,000 gallons if you believe what you read, but I'm not going to bet my life on 100,000 gallons. For 20 bucks, 22 bucks, it's worth picking up an extra just to have an extra, and though there will be an extra to be picked up to put in my wife's bag when we get hers packed. She got the same bag as I did, and we're going to be packing them to complement each other. I'm going to be carrying most of the heavier stuff. She's going to be carrying most of the lighter stuff, but that's kind of the way it's going to go. The Sawyer mini water filter, supposed to do 100,000 gallons. I'm betting if it does a tenth of that, we'll be doing good. So I've got two sources of water filtration now. I got the Life Straw and the Sawyer Mini. I got an extra pair of wool socks that I think are going to come in handy if we're going to be trekking 50 plus to 100 or even 500 miles. Got to have an extra pair of socks. So I got an extra pair of cotton socks and an extra pair of wool socks. There's one of the retention straps there. I've got a windbreaker that folds up really nice into itself. Got an MRE. Actually, there's two MREs in here. So that should give us at least a couple days worth of food ready to eat. Got some snacks in here, some makings for coffee and tea, a couple of candy bars in there that I think will come in handy to stretch the food a little bit. Folded up aluminum foil to help cook with, carry water with, you name it. Aluminum foil is a very versatile tool, so I would insist that everybody has that. I've got my shemagh in here. My wife's shemagh is on display on the table right here, but that's my shemagh. 100 feet of paracord. Can't leave home without it. This is the UST base tarp. There's a number of reviews out on the internet, YouTube reviews of this tool. It's a really great, very quick to set up tarp type shelter that you can use in multiple configurations. Very well worth it. Doesn't take up much room, and it's not very heavy. It's a great tool to have with you if you're going to be bugging out, and you have to bug out. Got an extra dry bag here. It's a 20-liter dry bag from UST, and I think they really make some good stuff. So here's the cross straps. Got a small fleece blanket that I think will come in handy. And a change of clothes. Got a t-shirt, I got some undies, and an extra pair of LAPG operator trousers. They're the best. Very lightweight, very comfortable, and rugged as all get out. Made out of nylon. Just super for the price. They run generally about 20 bucks. And you really can't beat the deals at LA Police Gear. Also down on the bottom, just a simple plastic bag for carrying water, keeping yourself dry, big enough to fit over the backpack itself, and that's in there. So that about covers the contents of my bug out bag. My wife's bug out bag is going to be configured a little bit different because she's not going to be carrying as much of the heavy stuff, but she's going to be carrying the cooking utensils, coffee pot, cooking pans, that kind of a thing. in her pack with a change of clothes, a few extra tools here and there. So together, if we've got to bug out and we can't stay in our house because there's been a forest fire in our area, there's been an earthquake, a tornado, you name it, and we just can't stay here any longer, this is going to be the first thing that we grab as we bug out, get out the door. Now, I'm assuming that if I have to bug out, then I'm not going to be able to take my Jeep. So I'm going to have to walk with this. With this thing weighing 28.5 pounds, I may need to haul a tent with us. If we're going to be trekking for 50 to 100 miles or even more, may have to take a tent. So I've got my base camp tarp and tent set up off on the side. I weighed it just a little bit earlier today. The thing weighs just about 8 pounds. It's got a large tarp, a small tarp, and all the tent pegs and guy ropes and you name it, it's there to go. That's going to weigh about 10 pounds, and our tent that's big enough for us, for the two of us anyway, weighs about 7.5 pounds. So with that strapped on the bottom, one of those strapped on the bottom and the other slung over my shoulder, I think we're going to be in good stead. One final thing that I have put in here is my Husqvarna hatchet. I don't think you can actually get places without having a good cutting tool like this. Now, with that said, it is kind of heavy. It weighs 2.5 plus pounds, just the head, and then you got a little bit of a few ounces for the handle and the sheath. But it will help build shelters. It'll cut firewood for you. I think it's worth the additional weight to carry that along. I'm also going to be carrying on my body my regular everyday carry stuff, which includes a flashlight. It includes a cigarette lighter, usually one of the mini Bics. I've got a pocket knife. I've got my Ontario Rat 1 folder and my everyday carry 9mm weapon, which is a Sig Sauer. That'll be on my body pretty much all the time, and this is the way we're gonna go if we've got to bug out. So that's the update. That's our new bags. You've seen the old bags, you know how much it weighs, you know what we've got in there. Appreciate any constructive comments, thoughts, or suggestions that you all have. And remember, if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe. This is the Prepared Suburbanite reminding you to be prepared always. Out for now.